Moving the C-130s and consolidating them is another effort. And so the big picture of what's going on with the C-130s is we have, I'm not exactly sure the numbers, about 330 to 340 C-130s in the Air Force inventory. Where we stand right now is the requirement, and we are a requirements-based military. The requirement is for a number much less than that. So as we reduce the number of C-130s, the question for the Air Force is, where do you put them? And how do you best manage the logistics tail that goes with them? And so the decision that was made is we're going to move those airplanes, the recommendations, we'll move those to Little Rock. And so if you take a look at what's going on in NDA 14 and the proposal in 15, there's a mismatch because 14 says our planes go to Pope and 15 says Pope closes to save money there, and we move the planes to Little Rock to consolidate over there. So herein lies the quandary. And so that causes some angst, obviously, for our airmen that live right here in the Gulf Coast community. And as you know, many of these airmen flying these airplanes have been in this unit for 2, 3, and sometimes 4 generations of airmen actually at Keesler. So this is an emotional topic for Keesler. It is an emotional topic for the airmen that are affected. And so what I try to do, and our leadership, to include General Higbee and others at Keesler, is what can we do to make sure we take care of our airmen as the process goes, as we go through this process and figure out what's going to happen with these airplanes. It is a challenge. So I will tell you, when the Secretary of the Air Force came out a couple, last week, Thursday and Friday, she obviously is part of the decision making on making recommendations on where these airplanes go. What was great for us is that the Secretary of the Air Force came out and met our airmen where they are. She knows the impact that this has. It is just a fact of life, though, that the Air Force Reserve is going to lose about 7,000 airmen. The active component Air Force is going to lose about 17,000 airmen. The Guard is going to lose about 3,000 airmen. Those are the numbers that are happening as we draw down because of the budget constraints that we're under. So as we move out of a decade more of war, there will be a new normal for the Air Force. There'll be a new normal for the Department of Defense.